You have a roller coaster at a theme park. Starts with a vertical drop that leads into two pairs of identical valleys and hills, as shown. Explain at what x value the graph starts to exhibit the sine function. Write the equation of a sinusoidal function to model that part of the graph. So we know that the sine starts in the midline. And let's look at first the amplitude. Let's look at the amplitude. So the amplitude will be half of the max minus the minimum. So the maximum here is at y equals 6. The minimum is at y equals 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Half of 4 is going to give us 2. The period is when it starts repeating. So let's just pick 2 points. Let's say these two. That's when it starts repeating again. So this is at x equals 4, and this is at x equals 7. I'm sorry, this is at x equals 3. This is x equals 7. So that's going to be 4. Period is 4. And now let's look at the vertical shift. So normally, for the vertical normally the amplitude of 2 goes from -2 to 2. But our graph, the maximum goes from 6 and then 2. So that means we have to add 4 to get to those 2 points. So the vertical shift has to be 4. Okay, now let's pretend that we were to connect this graph. So we know that at 5, it has a peak. That means 5 minus 4, 4 is a period. It's going to have the maximum again. So it's going to look like this. And because the period is 4, you break up the interval into 4 pieces. Right? So if it's from 0 to 4, you break it up into half to 2. Half is 1, half is 3. So here at 3, it's a min. That means at 2, it has to be the midline. 1 has to be a maximum. And then 0 has to be the mid. So 0, the mid, we said middle of 6 and 2 is 4. That's over here. We know that sine, in general, this is what sine looks like. It starts in the middle and goes up. Same thing with this. But we shifted it up 4 units. And it's clear that there's no phase shift here. So all we have to do is just use the equation. So we know the amplitude is 2. It's positive 2 because it's not changing. It's not going down and then up. It goes up and then down. That's sine. The period is 4, so you want 2 pi over b, where this is the standard form. 2 pi over b to be the period, which is 4 in this case. That means 2 pi over 4 is b, which is pi over 2. There is no phase shift, so we're not going to be adding by anything. And then there's a vertical shift of 4. So this is going to be our equation. And it's obvious that the graph starts at x equals 2. So 2 comma 4. That's when it starts taking the shape of the sine graph.